Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Mariella and my channel is In the Kitchen with Mariella. But today we are not in the kitchen. Today marks my 2nd year anniversary of doing YouTube. And with that, I want to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you for your subscription, for your support, your love, your friendship. And with that being said, now let's get started with this video. What? You want to be on video too? You want to be on the video too? Here. Say hi. Say hi. There you are. You're on the video. You're on the video. There you are. There you are. Being all bad. Sorry, guys. But Buddy had to have his 2 minutes of fame. So anyway, I say that my anniversary date is September the 18th. My very first video, ouch, stop! My very first video was made on August the 18th of 2023. Now, after I made that first video, I was told by some family members not to do YouTube, to do TikTok or Facebook Reels or whatever, but not to do YouTube. So I thought about it long and hard. I thought about it for a whole month. And I decided that instead of listening to them, which these are the people that I thought were going to be my supporters, you know, and encouragement and all that. Well, they turned out not to be so encouraging. As a matter of fact, they don't even watch my videos. And to this day, they still do not encourage me making YouTube videos. And I don't care. I made up my mind that this is my life, my channel, and I'm going to do what I want to do. I didn't need them. I didn't need their approval. And when I first started this channel was supposed to be a little bit of everything. It was supposed to be gardening. It was supposed to be some cooking, not much. It was supposed to be taking road trips, going to little towns here in Ohio, you know, and giving you the history of the town. And I got one of those videos, 2 videos out on the town of Wellston, the little town next door. And then my car broke down. And when my car broke down, that was the end of doing road trips. And I had to find something to do. So at that point in time, I said, well, you know how to cook, so go to get your butt in the kitchen and start doing cooking videos. And that's what I did. I started doing cooking videos. And that's how we ended up here today as a cooking channel, because that's what I had to do. And I can honestly say that 10 or less in the last 2 years, are repeat videos. I try not to make the same thing twice. I find recipes that I think sounds interesting and appetizing and, something that I would eat. And I tweak them a little bit to make them mine. Because if I find a recipe that has an ingredient that I've either never had or I don't like, then I'll substitute it for something else. Because that's me. And so far, there have only been a couple of things that I've made that I wasn't crazy about. I ate them, but I wasn't crazy about them. And I just love it when you all comment and say, I'm going to try this recipe. And then a little bit later, you comment back and say, I tried the recipe and it was good. Thank you for sharing. And it's like, that just warms my heart. That makes me very happy. Because then it makes me feel like what I'm doing is worth the effort and the time that it takes to do it. Because cooking videos, at least for me, cooking videos take a lot of time. By the time I get everything ready, because I might start at like 8 o'clock in the morning. If a recipe has a lot of chopping in it and stuff, I do all that before the camera starts rolling. Because one, I don't want to waste your time watching me chop. That's not interesting. And so I tried to get all my stuff and all my ingredients and everything ready long before I ever turn this camera on. And then once I turn the camera on, let's go to it. It's a cooking video. We're going to cook. Now, here's the thing. I've had people ask me, why do I make my videos the way I do? And my answer to that is because if someone comes across my video and they're new at cooking, or they're not for sure how to cook or what to cook, then I try to do a step-by-step instructions on how to do it. Normally, the only time I pause my camera is like if I'm cooking something and like if it's in the crock pot. I'm going to not let the camera run for 4 or 5 hours. That's just crazy, sitting there staring at the crock pot while the food is cooking. I'm going to pause the camera and come back when it's done. Or if I'm frying something, if it's going to take more than a couple minutes, then I'm pausing the camera until it gets done. But as soon as it gets done, I turn the camera right back on to show you the very next step. Now, I've watched channels where they start with, telling you what they're going to make, and you'll see them do a couple of steps. They never tell you, what all they're putting in it. And then the next thing you know, the dish is done. You really don't get the concept of how it was made. And you're like, and then they'll say, well, the recipe will be linked in the description box below, or I'll put the recipe in the description box below. And then you go there, and if there is a link, it never works. It never takes you to the recipe. Or there's no recipe. They don't put it in there. And one thing I can say, every one of my videos that is a cooking video, the recipe is in the description box below. I take the time to write it out and put it in there. I do that before the video's ever published. Because I feel this way. We all started YouTube with no subscribers. So if you're a cooking channel and you're making a recipe, the least you could do for your subscribers, if you want them to make the dish, the least you can do is put the recipe in the description box below. And here's the funny part, because I do research. I look up recipes and everything, and I tweak them to make them mine. And I have 3 notebooks sitting here on the desk in front of me. And one of them, every time I do a video, I put in the description box, I put a thought for today. I write that thought for today in this one notebook. Every recipe I do, I put that in another notebook. So that way, if anybody comes back and asks, how did you make this? I don't have to go to the video and watch. I have the recipes all wrote down. So that way I can just go back and refer to them. And my third notebook is, I call it my research notebook or whatever, because when a recipe idea comes up and I go to research it and see if there's anything out there like it, I write that idea down in this notebook. So, because I have to do this research on my phone. If the guy does not call me soon about my computer, I'm going to end up going and buying a laptop or a new computer, because I do all my research. Since my computer broke down, I do all my research on my phone. And that's a lot of research. And one of the reasons I didn't do a live today was because I have to use my phone. And for me to do a live, you got to be able to read the comments. And for me to read the comments, I would have to have the magnifying glass out to see the comments. And that just, that's not right. That's not fair to you guys. So before I can ever do a live, I got to get either a laptop or a computer. But with that being said, and then Buddy's mad at me now because he broke his tie-out chain last week. I went over to the dollar store. They didn't have none. So I ordered one off of Amazon. That was on like Thursday or Friday. Anyway, it wasn't going to get here until yesterday. So all day yesterday, we're waiting. Finally, I looked to see where is it? It says, we can't find your package. That's what UPS kept saying. We can't find your package. So how do you lose my package? This morning, I wake up with a message from Amazon telling me that my package will be here either Friday or Saturday. And when I went back to the UPS to track my package, the last time I looked, my package was in Columbus, which meant all they had to do was ship it to Chillicothe, and then Chillicothe would put it on a truck to be delivered here. Now, they sent my package to some town in Pennsylvania, who then sent it to another town in Pennsylvania. And the last time I checked, it was still in that town in Pennsylvania. And it's like, why? It's like I pay for Amazon Prime. I'm supposed to get 2-day delivery, and I never get 2-day delivery, no matter what. It never shows up in 2 days. And, me and Buddy it is so funny because when the UPS or FedEx people show up, Buddy goes crazy. And I just tell him, I say, sit the box out there and I'll get it as soon as you get in your truck and you leave, I'll come out and get the box. And it never fails. Every time I come in with the box, he gets so excited because he thinks whatever's in the box is for him. And yesterday, every little noise, because I kept telling him, I said, just watch for the UPS man. When the UPS man comes, I can tie you outside. So every little noise, he's jumping up, running to the door. And when it didn't come, I told him, I said, okay. I said, it won't be here until Friday or Saturday. So all day he's been moping around the house. And it's funny. It's like, how does he know what I'm saying? But he understands. So once again, I want to thank you all for subscribing, for watching, for liking, and for most of all, being part of my friends and my family. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be on YouTube. And honestly, I can say I might not even be on this earth anymore. So I owe you all a lifetime of gratitude. I love you all. And I want to thank you for watching the videos. And if any of you want to talk to me, I have an email in the description box below. I have 2 emails in the description box below. One says business inquiries. Do not use that one. The other one is my personal email. And I think it's maryellastuff@gmail.com. So if you want to talk to me, converse with me, then you can email me through there. And with that, I'm going to end this video. And like I end all of my other videos, don't let anyone steal your sunshine or your smile. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.